You know, it's funny, in the comment section of my Raid review, I got a lot of requests for Hard Boiled. I should see Hard Boiled. I've actually seen Hard Boiled, saw it in the late 90s. It was great, but I'd want to watch it again if I were to do a video on it, and I don't own Hard Boiled. It got me on a John Woo kick, though, and, well, Broken Arrow. I have that. Watched it a couple days ago. Since I'm on this 90s action movie kick, you know what? This is Friday's video. So Broken Arrow is directed by John Woo, stars John Travolta and Christian Slater. They're flying a stealth bomber with a couple of nukes in the back, and Travolta's like, I'm gonna steal these nukes because the year is 1995 and that's what we do in movies. So he does that. Christian Slater lives through the experience, and now Christian Slater's the only man who can stop him. And a park ranger, played by Samantha Mathis. Which, if there was a positive in the Super Mario Brothers movie, she is it. But what's the decade? That's right, the 90s. I've said it a couple times before, and I'm gonna say it again. It's the villain. It's John Travolta, man. He's the one carrying this whole thing. John Travolta had a comeback after Pulp Fiction. It's like, Pulp Fiction, whoa, that he's good. Let's put him in more stuff. Oh, wow. He's great as a villain. And it's John Travolta just having so much fun in this role.
You're out of your mind. Ain't it cool?
To the point of, yeah, it's not just because it was Vincent Vega and also Will Scarlet. You know, one's gonna cast a bigger shadow. John Travolta, he's the uncontested champion of this movie, and he carries the entire thing. Maybe it's because, really, for the most part, Travolta doesn't have any other villain goons around him that really challenge him. Warden from Shawshank was great in the movie as that guy. You know exactly who he's gonna play. You know, the guy, he's not the military guy. Maybe he was a financial backer. He's someone they needed to get the job done. But now he's just prattling on and bitching about everything, and you know Travolta's just gonna smash his windpipe with a flashlight. That's how it's gonna go down. Now, you know, now I'm thinking about it, I feel like that's cutting him short. I feel like Travolta could have been on screen with anybody. He still would have stood out. He was great, and I have no complaint to the fact that this movie's the Travolta show. You know, this being a John Woo movie, John Woo's known for his, you know, his John Woo action, shootouts, doves. There are John Woo-ish things you expect in a John Woo movie. And that's not really what Broken Arrow is. Not that it's devoid of shootouts, it does have those, but the action in Broken Arrow is never what stood out to me. Not only are there better action movies out there are better John Woo action movies out there. At least when comparing the action scenes, to me, it's Travolta, which he should put that on a t-shirt. He should have a t-shirt that says, I upstaged John Woo's action scenes in a John Woo movie. Which means Travolta is a double-edged sword. He steals the movie, but also when he's not on screen, I'm not that engaged. I'm just always waiting for him to come back on screen. Not that I don't like Christian Slater. I mean, Christian Slater's one of those actors I've always been like, now's your time. Hey, raise your hand if you watched the entire series, all 9 episodes of My Own Worst Enemy when it was airing. Yeah. Broken Arrow is one of those movies, for me, it doesn't have that hero and villain going toe-to-toe for screen time. It is a TKO in the favor of John Travolta. When he's not on screen, I'm always just waiting for him to come back. Actually, you know what? There are a couple things that do stand out. The nuke getting detonated underground, which really isn't an action scene. It's a nuke scene. Followed by one of the greatest line deliveries in cinematic history.
I say, goddamn, what a rush!
Good luck following up that line, Howie Long.
Son of a bitch! Shockwave took down the damn chopper.
All right, well, you tried. Though in the 90s, Howie Long was my pick for Eddie Brock. Just because he looked like him, simply on that basis. I think we got a better one now. Funny enough, Woody Harrelson was also my pick for Cletus Cassidy because of Natural Born Killers, so that weirdly worked out. And the scene that made me laugh my ass off even when I saw the movie in theaters, which is when Travolta gets nailed by the nuke, and by Travolta I mean the dummy that's clearly the dummy. That's what stands out. Maybe it's because he's making a different face. Travolta's like, bring it on. Dummy's like, oh. Funny enough, movies like this are known for the infamous will they, won't they thing. You know, you got the hero and you got the hot chick. Are hero and hot chick gonna hook up? Not really, no. I mean, there's this hand embrace at the end, which is probably gonna lead to a date, but not like they get down in the mine or anything. I mean, Christian Slater does know when to put on the moves, though. It's like, oh, you're freezing? Let me warm you. I appreciated the fact that it was like, well, if we're concentrating on all that, then we're not concentrating on the situation at hand. And the props to the movie for that. The musical score, that Hans Zimmer score, boom, 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 boom. A score so good they used it in Scream 2 for Dewey. Yeah, there's this cowboy quality to John Travolta, totally fits. Oh, also Dewey. Definitely shows the diversity in music and the application of movie and how it all works together. Music can change a scene, or a scene can change the music. In the end, Broken Arrow, it's another product of the 90s. Travolta just has so much fun in this role. It's like every line, every response, I don't know how much of it is ad-libbed. Point is, it just sticks with you, and that's the mark of a good character, is when you walk away from the movie and you remember those lines and use them in application in the world. My friends and I, if there's ever a long pause, we still go. We do it. That's an interaction we actually do to this day. I feel like the thing I appreciate is Broken Arrow is very self-aware. Travolta knew how to play the villain up. The movie knows what it is. It's one of those movies I can pop in and have it in the background and have it on and watch it. I'm just saying that Travolta shows a good time, no alcohol required. I feel like I'm more generous with these 90s action movies because of nostalgia, but it's the nature of the beast. All right, so Broken Arrow, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.